shit happens. But thinking, so, speaking of shit happens, all right, I decided to just take this movie because I was on a decent roll with just not going outside, being a lazy fuck, and Netflix was that immediate solution I could look to. And lo and behold, weekly film number 36, FullMetal Alchemist. From Himuro Arakawa's FullMetal Alchemist comes this Netflix abomination. Adaptation. Netflix's obsession with getting this live anime adaptation thing down. Why? But let's talk about the plot. Let's talk about the plot. Two brothers fucked up their science experiment and now need to get their bodies back in a military society with magic. That's the premise of this movie. Okay. And I think that's the nicest and cleanest way to clean up the plot, really. Good God, Japan. Good God, Japan. Do you hate writers? Do you not like writers? Like, do you just like having the most stereotypical film tropes on the screen at all times for your plot? Like, is that what you want? I've seen this in Bleach. I've seen this in this shit. I've seen this in, like, fucking other goddamn live anime adaptations. Like, what the fuck is going on? And here's the thing. They're like, the reason why I ask this question is, you get a shit film like this when you have no tension or no focus or no conflict. Yes, there's conflict, yes. But it doesn't feel like palpable conflict. You're just sitting there and understanding that, okay, the way these guys are writing and have the fucking setup, the good guys are going to win. Like, this is a very stereotypical story thing. And it just and the more frustrating part the reason why I get so frustrated at shit like this, right? Especially adaptations, which fail to not only properly adapt, and you don't need to properly adapt. You don't need to do page by page, book by book, frame by frame. I'm not suggesting that. What I'm suggesting, though, is, get proper writers. Write a convincing enough plot, or convincing enough fucking, I don't know, characters for me to follow along. Because here's the thing, when you have source materials, when you have 27 fucking volumes of manga, when you have two different anime series, two different animated series, which went above 50 plus episodes for each of them, mind you, okay? And two different animated movies that were both over an hour and a half. How many more fucking sources do you need? I read quotes from this director. I wanted to stay true to the manga, but at what cost? At the cost of not having writers? You just want to kind of make it look similar? This is all I felt like it was doing. And we'll talk about that more in the visual shit, but my God, let's talk about the characters. Let's talk about the fucking characters. Oh, good Lord. Just like me, overreacting and screaming. That's all they were doing. Shit like that on Twitch and YouTube, it's great. But in a fucking movie, I want some more subtlety. I want some more nuance in that shit. And that's the MO for most of the characters in any particular scene. Emotion, nah, just yell it. Just yell it. It'll show. It'll show. All right, you don't necessarily have to scream out emotions to say that you're mad or shit. You could use actors. That's why they act. But I get somewhere along the line, one of the production members missed a memo. I don't know. Maybe I'm just wilding out here. I don't know. But visuals. Oh, from decent moments to absolute visual farts on the green screen. It really was a mixed bag, man. It really was. And there was a couple of decent enough establishing shots. Like, there really were. Like, fucking bland. And that's really the only word you can really come down to. When you think about it, the director does a really good job of trying to do a frame by frame copy paste method of visual style in terms of what he saw in the manga and what he wants to put on the screen. But if you're so fixated on that, you kind of lose focus on every fucking thing else And it really showed in the plot and characters. It was just, oh my God. And then, and the visuals, even then, it's like, good God, you couldn't, from momentary eyegasm, from a millisecond of eyegasm to just absolute green screen diarrhea. It went all over the place. It was all over the place. It was a mixed bag of just all over the fucking gumbled up jambalaya. I didn't need that. I didn't need that, but I sat through that 2 hours and 40 fucking minutes. But if there is a really good thing to talk about in this movie, one particular thing I will say is the music. Reiji Kitasato deserves a massive shout out as a composer, and I suppose based on the Wikipedia, IMDb, and Anime Network as sources, I'm using his name there. If I'm mistaken, please, anybody out there, correct me if I'm wrong. Please do so. And here's the thing: Kitasato, really, he really is the only saving grace of this movie. I'll say it right now. Orchestra music that makes the film more epic than it should, because the music was excellent. The music was one of those things like, wow, I wish I could just take this track. I wish I could just take this entire soundtrack and just put it in another fucking movie, because this movie does not deserve this great of a soundtrack. It really doesn't. Not at all. And really, it just, I don't know how many fucking times I screamed fuck you to this movie. I just really don't know. I lost count. After 13 minutes of this movie, I just started repeatedly saying fuck you, because it just got to this point of writing got lazy. Every film stereotype you could think of in an action thriller just happened to just happen. It just happened to happen. And oh my God, you cannot make this shit up. Just try to watch 2 hours and 14 minutes of this shit. And here's the thing. There were so many production companies behind this movie. There were probably more than a dozen that I saw the list on there. But here's some of them: Warner Brothers Japan, New Line Cinema, Square Enix, GK Film, Japan News Network, and etc. Yet, despite all these big names, yet somehow low budget to the point you have to do some DIY shit on your visual effects. Are you fucking serious? Good Lord. I get it. It's not Hollywood, but the director's coming out we're gonna try to make it Hollywood. We're gonna make these techniques in Hollywood. Stop trying to do Hollywood shit. Focus on fucking writing first. Focus on writing first. I don't give a fuck. Fucking visuals are great. Visuals are great. Great all day, every day. You can have great animations, visual effects, special effects all day. But there's no fucking plot and writing. There's no fucking movie. There's no fucking movie. How simple can that be? Frustrated rant aside, if I have to give this movie a review, I give it a 2.0 out of 10. FullMetal Alchemist is a hair-pulling, no-fun action thriller that has you bored in the first 10 minutes and regretting your life by the 2 hour and 13 minute mark. Seriously, it is bad. Fuck that movie. That movie is bad.